This episode, we cover yard sales, how to spend for good, and thinking before you borrow. This is the Living Young and Free Show, giving the 25 and under crowd tips, tricks, and hacks to get the most out of your money. Hi, I'm Cheryl, and welcome to episode 29. First up, we have Chris, who's going to give some tips on organizing a yard sale.
Today, I shall overcome. Today, I will organize a yard sale. Alright, look, we all have crap in our house, but sometimes you just need to unclutter the house, take all your crap, put it in your front yard, invite a bunch of strangers over, and sell it for almost nothing. So here are 10 tips on organizing a yard sale. Tip number 1 is part with your stuff, because you're going to actually sell some things that you don't want to. Tip number 2 is join forces with others. Talk to a neighbor or even a friend about joining together so that the yard sale looks really big and looks like a really big deal. Tip number 3 is advertise. Be sure to put your yard sale in the local paper and tell all your friends about it on Facebook. Tip number 4 is signage. Be sure to direct people straight to your yard sale. Don't confuse anybody. So use more signs than you think you'll actually need. Tip number 5 is change. You'll need lots of it. Quarters, dollar bills, $5 bills, and if you live in Canada, I suppose you'll need pesos or whatever it is. Tip number 6 is start early. Sometimes old people get up before the sun comes out. That's strange, I know. But you'll need to get an early start if you want to get some of those early birds that have a lot of money. Tip number 7 is show off the goods. Put your high ticket items out front so that when people drive by, you'll draw them in. Tip number 8 is bundle the small stuff. You could take all your Mariah Carey CDs and bundle them together like a box set. Number 9 is don't be awkward. Be friendly and talk to folks. Make them feel welcome in your home. You can even play some music to break the silence. Number 10 is donate what's left. You've already decided that you didn't want the crap, and then you tried to sell it, but no one would buy it. That should tell you something. Now, if you excuse me, I have some yard to sell. Or some yard selling to do.
Pesos? Really, Chris? I'm only going to tell you this one more time. We have the same kind of money as you, it's just prettier. Next up, we have Sarah Dale, who's going to illustrate how you can harness the power of your spending for good.
Hey Cheryl, about a year ago I noticed a quality about myself that I had never noticed before. Besides being beautiful, intelligent, and funny, people even call me humble. I was also a philanthropist. You see, I was going around town doing all these philanthropic deeds without even knowing it.
There's never anything to eat. Ooh, somebody brought takeout. Thank you.
Oh, sweet. Yes. Nice. No way. All right.
When I realized the impact these accidental actions were having on the people around me, it made me want to do it on purpose. I strongly believe that everyone should harness their talents and gifts to make a difference in the world. For some, that's writing, and for others, it can be using their business to make a difference. And for me, it's shopping. So I found an article on GetRichSlowly.org that told me how I could use my power for good. Apparently, there are tons of products out there that benefit different causes. And all I have to do is keep on shopping. For example, a lot of products are going pink these days to help find the cure for breast cancer. So when I'm out shopping for a particular product and I see it in pink, I always grab it and I know that my purchase is working double time. When it comes to footwear, Tom Shoes promises to give a pair of shoes to a child with every pair you purchase. It's called One for One, and so far Tom's has given shoes to over 600,000 children. Also, Dawn Dish Detergent donates $1 towards wildlife rescue when you enter the code on their package into their website. And Newman's Own donates all of their profits to charity. So now when I get flack about shopping too much or spending too much money from my family, I tell them I'm not a shopaholic. I'm a philanthropist with a knack for style. So from now on, whenever you spend money, do it with a purpose. Back to you, Cheryl.
Thanks, Sardale. You really are a philanthropist. Just the other day, I was telling you that I had a fever, and then you went and sent me the only cure. Last up, we have Josh, who's going to give you a few things to consider before you borrow money.
Yeah, I needed to borrow some money.
Well, you've come to the right place.
I need to borrow just a couple $100, maybe $300 or $400.
Why not 1,000?
I'll stick with just a couple hundred.
And I'm your man, I suppose.
What's the interest?
Well, the interest rate is up to you. How fast you can pay me back.
No, I can pay it back pretty quickly. Yeah. I can do that.
We have a deal.
Oh no. I've woken in the back of someone's car. Okay, let me give you some quick advice on how to avoid this kind of situation. When you're looking into getting a loan, make sure, number one, that you absolutely need to get this loan. Make sure that all other options are gone before you borrow money. You must absolutely need this money. Number two, find out what the interest rate is. If you can't afford to pay it back, then don't. Don't borrow money if you can't pay back what you borrow. And number three, find out what the risks are. Surely they won't be as bad as the situation I'm in right now, but you should definitely look into what the risks are. And I think those are the tips for borrowing money. Oh no, we're stopping. I gotta go.
So, with a couple of days interest, I think you owe me about $28,000. Well, you'd be surprised how much a human hand is worth these days.
Back to you, Cheryl.
All right, so I guess the other thing to learn here is if you are going to borrow from a loan shark, make sure to get him on video so that can later be submitted to the police if you end up in a trunk or with your hand chopped off. And that's our show. If you have any feedback or ideas for upcoming episodes, feel free to comment below or email me at livingyoungandfree@gmail.com. Join us next time for more great tips, tricks, and hacks on how to make the most of your money. Young and Free is a credit union movement that gives young people a voice, a head start, and useful information.